get any better than this in life, right? Tattooing in old cars.
He's a knucklehead, man, but he teaches me a bunch too.
I speak my mind. I don't hold my tongue, which I have been lately. But I'm one of the kind of people that'll tell you how like it is. It just, if I don't like you, I'll tell you. If I like you, I will tell you. I mean, I don't degrade you. I just tell you what you're doing wrong. If that's the move, then so be it. I've been called an asshole all my life. This industry will chew you up and spit you out. I mean, this industry is just, like I said, if you have a weak stomach or a weak sense of mind, people will chew you up. People will sense that.
Are you one of them?
I can be.
Jim is interesting. He's definitely a character. I don't get to work with him a lot, except for on weekends, but people really respond to him. You know, he's really, how would I say it? Colorful. He's very animated, I would say. So.
I mean, if you got a weakness, I mean, I don't do it as much anymore, but you know, if you have a weakness, I'll exploit it. They're pampered more nowadays. They give them a little more freedom, I think. And some of them don't have the commitment as you should have when you're going into this business, because this business will tear you apart and your family. Apprentices just sometimes just don't know. Back when I was apprenticing, I mean, I get slapped in the back of the head for doing something wrong. Or if I'm shading, when I did my first tattoo, I was shading my Mickey Mouse wrong supposedly, and he grabbed the machine and he told me this is what a hamburger looks like. So I had an 1.5 inch scab. You know, you do that nowadays, you get you get arrested.
As old timers, we're the ones that keep it alive. We don't do it for the money, we do it for the art.
They're jaded about the money. They see how much people make, you know, how much lead artists are making, hire artists, whatever. They're just looking at that. They're not looking at, oh, I gotta get my artwork better. They just think about that money, how much they can make, and when they can leave. Just sometimes you just can't leave. If it's busy, you know. I stick around. I try to give my advice, and sometimes these kids just already know it all. I was there, I've done it, but as an older artist now, there's just so much that they can learn from guys like me, but all I can just say is just make the commitment. That's all. I believe in making commitment and being loyal to your art. Apprentices, I did apprentices just because I got when I was coming up, and you know, I don't do it out of hatefulness. I make sure at the end of the day that I tell them that, you know, it's out of all fun, but also a learning experience. What hasn't changed in 20 years is high school drama, where people are trying to get people in trouble, or it's just, I just want to go to work, make my money, and go home. Yeah, like, I mean, I've done everything in black and gray too lately. I mean, like your Spider-Mans. I mean, the heavy color, bright color, you know, multiple layer colors, stuff like that. There's old music and good times. I mean, it's just being back in the 80s. It was revived by the Stray Cats, bringing it back. I've been rockabilly since I was 15, and it just means to me easier times, easier ways, no worries. Cars are easy to work on. Chicks were not as easy as nowadays. I mean, you had to work for a date, but the whole idea around it is just life was easy.
All-American is a fast-paced shop. You know, we have high turnaround. We got people coming in, getting their designs, getting what they want to get, and then, you know, keeping it flowing. And I really like that about it. It's more of that work ethic there. So pretty much you get what you put in it. You know, whatever you do, it just depends. If you're not going to willing to put the work in, you're not going to be able to survive. Kaz, Jim, Christian, Bryce our new addition, and we've started having apprentices there too a lot, which is a really nice change because normally we do a lot of our own work there. So having somebody else come in and help us out with that, it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling. But yeah, they're really good. Everybody's laid back. You know, we have a lot of fun together, and I really like that. If you know, if you can't have fun at your work, then what are you gonna do? How would you do that to me? You know, some people might have a few ideas of their own that you might have to, you know, correct or crush. You know.
I'm Nikki, your lead artist. I'll help you with all your questions. Look what you're causing drama on the camera.
Yeah. I hate that part about it. You know, having apprentices, it's fun because you see the spirit they want to go at it with. You know, they want to get in there and they want to be a tattoo artist, but you know, at the same time, you kind of have to give it a lot of structure. You know, a lot of structure, a lot of small steps, and sometimes it can be frustrating for these kids. You know, you have this idea and you can draw and you think you're there, and then you get into the tattoo and it's a whole nother world. You know, it's like you're learning to swim, and sometimes it can be frustrating when they give you little things and they don't want to hear it, but over time I think it makes them better, you know. A lot of custom work. I like custom work. I've been taking to drawing things directly onto people now, which I like that. It's liberating because you lose some things when drawing on paper. Not necessarily always, but I do a lot of larger pieces, and it's hard to draw a curved item on a flat piece of paper. But when you take the pen and you draw it on the person and they're happy with it, it just gives it that much more energy to it, you know. I like the fit a lot better. So anything that I can just get on there and draw on someone, I really love. But as far as it goes, I love Asian work, and I'm trying to kind of branch more into realism or portraits. But you know, there's so many people that do great portraits now. I'm really interested in it, so I'd like to learn to do it as well. You know, I go in there and I'm expected to uphold a certain level of quality and quality control. And it's not like I go over people's shoulders and, well, this is what you do and this is what you don't. But there is a certain extent to where I do monitor the other artists, but not because they need me for artistic direction or whatever. If they have questions, they come to me and ask that for me. If they have problems, the same, they come. And, you know, it's a tiny bit like administration, but not really. You know, I'm helping them help themselves, essentially. It's not really, in a sense, it's not exactly a leadership position, but it is. It's not, you know, a dominant leadership position where I go and I'm like, well, you do this and you do that, but I can offer guidance and experience to things that I've had to deal with in the shop. You know, I know the flow of the clientele in All-American. I'm very familiar with it. I know what's going to happen on a week-to-week basis, and sometimes things that can confuse other artists, I can, you know, smooth out and make it an easier transaction for both parties involved. And that's something I like a lot too, and also to make sure that the supplies are maintained and the shop's running smoothly. So really, I kind of feel like a watchdog a little bit, which I like that. I like that, to go around and just make sure everything's running smoothly. And
oh, when Nikki gets rolling, that's it. She's relentless. The
idea of the forum, because you're talking to people that you would never talk to anyway. You know, there's always something, you know, and especially in the tattoo industry, everybody seems to know more than the next person. And that's not necessarily true, but that's the idea. You know, you go to see somebody and they're tattooing in a different shop or in a different area or a different way, they're automatically on defense. You know, like, well, my way is the way to do it, I've fought for this way. And, you know, so there's a lot of static between people and the personal basis. And even when you're in the same shop, you know, you try to talk to people about, you know, techniques or their ideas or how they feel about things, and there's always, you know, some sort of interference with that, whether it's because they don't feel open about it. But at the tattoo forum, people are going to put their opinions there, and that's it. You know, they don't feel, oh, should I hold this back, or what if they think this? You know, they put it on there and they get their feedback. And I like that. I like it. It's a certain amount of honesty. As far as being a lead artist and tattooing for as long as I have been, I don't really have a lot of tattoos. You know, I have maybe 1 or 2 visible tattoos. And so it's easy for me to slip in and out of places. And I know that sounds crazy, but, you know, I can go with a group of my friends, and be it girls or guys or whatever, and go to Walmart, you know, most common place, and they'll get pulled aside, and you're like, oh, look at you, grabbed, touched, and everything, and I just slip by. Nobody knows that I'm the one that did all those tattoos, and I kind of like that anonymity. And, you know, I don't, I'm not saying I don't want people to know what I've done. I like people when they hear my name, they're like, oh, Nikki did those tattoos, and they have no idea it's me. You know, I can be like, somebody else like, oh, Nikki did these, and I'll stand right next to them, and they'll be like, I'd like to meet her. You're like, you know, I'm right here. I've had plenty of people come in the shop for my references, and I sit at the desk a lot, and I like to interact with the customers that come in, whether they're my customers or not. You know, you walk into the shop, I want to talk to you. It's just fun. And they'll be like, yeah, I'm here to see Nikki. I'm like, oh, cool, okay, well, how can I help you? Like, oh, no, we need to see Nikki. We're here to get a tattoo. And I'm like, you know, like, let me go get my tattoo license out, so you know.
And Kaz speaks for himself, man. You know, he's real quiet, and he'll put you in your place, you know. He has his clean line work, and he has his style, and you can respect that about somebody.
I've never seen a style like Kaz's.
I like it, man. I like his color, his use of color. He's real selective with what he does, you know. He sticks to, you know, his traditional work, and, you know, he's pretty damn good at it. If he doesn't want to do something, he has no problem, you know, saying, that's not me, I'm not going to touch it.
He's awesome, very creative. I like Kaz a lot. So he draws some of the strangest stuff. So, very cool. He's always really quiet, so I like that.
It's a good working All-American. We've all worked together for a pretty long time, so we all know each other really well, and we have customers that come from all over the U.S. because of the military base, so that's pretty good, you know. They're all really cool, you know. We have like a mixture of different styles and stuff, so it's pretty much any kind of style you can find. She plays roller derby and bartend. She's really cool. We've been together for a while, so. I'd say it might hurt a little bit.
It's what I thought it would be. Oh, it's so pretty.
Too damn quiet. Nah, he's a great guy. He's a hard worker, that's for sure.
Well, how would you characterize his art, like, artistically? What's Kaz like?
He was fine line, and then all of a sudden he turned to thicker and bolder lines, which his artwork has turned, I think it turned out much better, even though his fine line work is just tremendous. Yeah, he's a upcoming artist.
All-American was a great first choice for TTF Presents. We ultimately chose them because they're a high production shop, and they're serving Fort Campbell, and there's a lot of action going on there, you know, and as you've seen, the personalities are, I mean, they're amazing. Whereas you might go to a tattoo shop A, and then, you know, down the street, they don't know, you know, like they've never spoken. They might have worked down the street together 10 years and never said a word, and just, you know, eye the sign all day, like, oh, I hate your sign, you know. So with the forum, I mean, for those artists that are interested in expanding and comparing notes with other professionals within the craft, they can do that there. All-American was a great choice, and I really appreciate them letting us in.